Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on when you're watching the replay. I am Dr. Lene Javette. This is day 2 of my 30-day live stream challenge. Today's topic is strategy is my superpower. So if you right now you're not probably not new to me. You probably know me and you've been following me for a while. So um, what you may not know is how strategy became my superpower. And so that's what I'm going to be talking about today, how strategy became my superpower. Before it was called strategy, it was called manipulation. One of the reasons why I love to serve specifically Black entrepreneurs, but those who package and sell their expertise is because a lot of times it's difficult to communicate what it is that you do. It's difficult to communicate what makes you brilliant. And for me, my brilliance and or my superpower is the ability to think strategically and to write strategy. When I was younger, I actually didn't see this as a superpower. I didn't even see it as something that was good. I used to say that I was a manipulator. And so I misidentified and spoke about my superpower because I thought I was a manipulator. I knew that I had a skill to look at something and get it. I knew I had a skill to look at something and do what it is that I wanted to do. But I wasn't using my superpowers for good because I was doing not great things. And so I looked up the difference between manipulation and strategy, and they're very similar because both of them, in both situations, you're trying. There's a goal that you're trying to reach, right? Um, Strategy, I came up with my own definition for strategy, and it is the master blueprint that guides your journey from vision to victory. It's not just about planning, it's the saga of creating, executing, and achieving your goal, which I like to call car, right? It's the car that gets you to where you want to be. And strategy is your game plan for success. And so the difference between strategy and manipulation, which is what I used to think that I did, was with manipulation, it involves influencing others for one's own benefit. And a lot of times when we're younger, we are manipulating because we're trying to get something to happen and get something to be done. Whereas when you're being strategic, you're planning and you're executing for a clear long term goal. So that's the difference. And when you achieve the outcome, it's a benefit. Okay, so that's the difference. Before, I used to be very manipulative. I just knew that I wanted this thing. How can I have it? What can I do? How can I get it done? And then as I've grown, I've figured out how to create a plan and write it out and lay it out so that other people can benefit from it. The other difference between manipulation and strategy is that manipulation often involves hiding your true intentions, and we see that a lot when people are not being true to themselves or to their brilliance, as opposed to strategy, which is more transparent. It involves clear communication and well thought out plans. I believe that it is the reason why I can listen to somebody else talk about their goals, their dreams, what it is that they want to do, what it is, hey Sean, what it is that they want to achieve. And I can listen to it and I can say, oh, let me help you come up with a strategy based on what it is that you want to do. If you do X, Y, and Z, and you do it by this date and this time, this is how long it will take you to be successful. And when I do that for people, it happens. If I'm writing a strategy for somebody to publish a book or start a business or to create a course, I have figured out how to listen to what it is that people want to do. And I learned that from trying to do it myself. Also, ethical concerns. So when I was younger, before I knew that I was a strategist, like most tykes, I used to use my superpower for things like stealing. I don't recommend that you be out here stealing, but I was young, so I didn't know any better. I just knew I want these LA gears. I'm at Mervin's and I'm gonna get them. So I was a thief when I was a little bit younger. I'd say, and I got caught. Let me say all that. I got caught. I was on my way out the door. The people was there. They was like, "Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and run us back those shoes." And so I got caught. But that didn't stop me. I did it again at Stater Brothers trying to steal some Kool-Aid in the summertime. So I always knew that I had the power of, I see this, I want this, how do I get this? When I flunked out of ninth grade and I had to do alternative school for 10th grade, I knew that I did not want to graduate late. Like I knew I didn't want to graduate late. And so I had to come up with a strategy to figure out how am I going to still graduate on time? And what has happened is over the years, as I've matured and become an adult, I have figured out that looking at things and figuring out how they work. How can I manipulate this? How can I move this? How can I get from here to there? What is the path? How long is it going to take? What do I need to do? What's the education? Do I need to make some phone calls? Like, I've figured out how to see something, want something, and now go and get it. But more importantly, I now know how to do it for myself and other people. And so that's literally how I became a strategist. I learned how to look at things, figure things out, understand them, and then create a plan that is easily executable so that other people can meet their goals. And so how manipulation and strategy are similar. Both manipulation and strategic action involve influencing outcomes or decisions. That's my superpower. I am excellent at influencing the outcomes, mostly successful. They're both goal oriented. So they both imply a focus on achieving a specific outcome. Manipulation, usually not a good outcome, but strategic usually is. Skill and planning. I found this interesting. Both manipulation and strategic thinking require skill, careful planning, and an understanding of psychology, situations, and the potential response of others. And so the thing about my superpower of strategy is that I get to help other people. Um, when I realized that I'm not a manipulator, I am a strategic planner, was when I was working at my last corporate job and I'm sitting in this room with nothing but white people and then me as a black girl. And I'm listening to them talk about where we have to go, where the business has to go, how we're going to make money, what's going to happen, and I'm listening to them and I'm like, that's what I do. When I want something, that's how I plan. I want to go back to school. I want to get my PhD. I want to start my business. I want to do a retreat. I want to do a 3-day conference. Like, I get the vision in my mind and then I sit and I write, okay, well, how do I do that? Well, who has to be there? How many speakers do I need? Well, what's the cost? Well, how long do I need before I have to roll this out? How long does it take before I have to let the speakers know? And I just start backing into this thing. And before I knew it, this is my little y'all see me when I was a tyke right in there, right? That was me. These are some of my accomplishments that I have been able to achieve by way of strategy. Literally just not just speaking it into existence, not manifestation, not the law of attraction, but strategy. This is what I want. This is when I want it by. This is what needs to happen in order for me to get it. And this is the execution plan that I need to put in place in order to have it. That's what I think people miss as the difference between a plan and a strategy. Strategy includes the actions that are necessary to reach the goal that you want to get. And so these are my stats. One day when we're doing our coaching, I'm going to read my client stats because you want somebody like me. You want to know somebody like me. You want to know somebody that can help you reach the goals that you set. And when I get to the 4C framework, I'll talk about that. How I help people do it is specifically around business. I help you first figure out who your clients are. I help you get clarity on what it is that you want to do. Figure out who your clients are, because that leads you to confidence. And a lot of business owners and people in general are walking around just not confident in who they are and what they do, their education, how they speak, whatever the case might be. What's up, business bully? And then the fourth one is coins, because you can't get to coins, you can't get to money, you can't get to success if you are not clear on where you're going, how you're going to get there, who you're going to serve, and you have the confidence. You can completely just miss out on the coins, right? So, hey, Yvonne, I still want to strategize some white labeling. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm actually doing a day where you guys can ask me anything about anything, and I will strategize with you guys right here online in person. So that is basically how I got to strategy as my superpower. I realized that I had an innate skill and talent to look at something and figure out how to make it work, how to get it, how to have it, how to produce a product, how to create a service, how to throw a party, how to get my PhD, how to be a single mom, how to move into a house. It doesn't matter what it is. I have this crazy innate ability. And I have said this before. If you've been following me for any amount of time, I always say this. I've been able to do just about everything I want to do except for lose weight and get a man. I've always said that. Those have been like the only two things that escape me. Well, I'm down 35 pounds right now, and I got about 20 more to go. So your girl has done that one, and I'm dating. So literally, I need new goals. I need some new stuff to do because at this point, I'm killing it out here. Okay, my clients is killing it. I'm killing it. My strategies is dope. I wrote my most page strategy the other day. Usually, my strategies are somewhere between 3 to like 15 pages. I wrote a 52-page strategy the other day for a nonprofit. And when you figure out what you're brilliant at, when you figure out what your superpower is, you become unstoppable. And so that's my day 2 today. Today for my 30-day live stream and shine challenge. My topic is strategy is my superpower. And I wanted to really just break down and tell you guys, like, how did I find my superpower? How did I figure out that manipulation is my superpower? But we call it strategy because manipulation, that's not nice. You don't want to say that your superpower is manipulating people. It's not. My superpower is strategy. I am very good at looking at something and saying, how do we get that? How do we make that ours? How do we write a book? How do we and I think I can show you guys this. I'm going to show you guys my office. I'm sitting in my office right now. And I'm going to show you one of my strategic techniques. So this is Instagram first. Can you guys see my wall over there on Instagram? Like, that's my wall right there. I'm going to show you guys on Facebook. Hold on. Boom. I'm in the office. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all too. Give me a second. This is my strategic wall. So this is my office. You guys can see I'm in the office right now. And so I may talk to you guys about that later this week, but I basically went through and wrote out all of the projects that I'm working on, every single project that I have in front of me right now. And then for each project, so I had to separate it out. For each project, I wrote like a to-do list. So I have the Dr. Lene project, I have the drlenejavette.com project, I have Brand Your Brilliance, I have my money goals up there that I see every day. I have all of the products that I have to have done between now and the end of next month because I'm redoing everything. I have my YouTube podcast that I'm bringing back. I have the events that have to get scheduled. I have a new tangible product that I'm bringing out and my nonprofit. And so every day when I'm in the office and I'm sitting here and I'm working, if I'm not on task, I can look up and be like, oh, boom. Okay, that's what I need to get done. So strategy works in so many different ways. It works for me, but it also works for my clients. So that's it. That's my day 2 live, talking about how strategy became my superpower, how it started off as something negative, because a lot of times we have a talent and or a skill and or something that we can do that may or may not be good, or we just don't know how to use it. I did not know how to use my superpower, which is why I thought it was a negative. And it was negative until I turned it into a positive. And a lot of people are that way. You might have been told when you were younger, you talk too much. You might have been told when you're younger, you move around too much. You don't know how to sit still. And you grow up and you become a speaker. And you grow up and you become an athlete. So it's really about learning what you're good at, and then figuring out how do you create a business around it, or how do you profit from it, or how do you use it to excel or to leverage or to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, because that's literally what that is literally what your superpower is. So that's my day 2. Strategy is my superpower. Tomorrow for day 3, I don't actually know what I'm going to be talking about, but I promise you it will be earlier. I got a late start today because I had to get my new lights. So now you guys can see me better. So I had to get my new lights, and so I'm going live late today. But I will be on earlier tomorrow, which is Saturday. How did you know which task to work on first? Or do you multitask and work on all of them? Oh, that's a great question, Tashi. Hopefully I'm saying your name correctly. So how I got to this wall is I have myself and my tasks. I have my coaching clients and their tasks. And then I have my group clients and their tasks. And so I have all this stuff swirling around in my head. And then, so when I sit down and I have to work on something, I'm like, what am I supposed to be working on? So what I did was I sat with all of my personal projects that I'm working on and or everything that I wanted to have finished by the end of the year. Okay, so that's how I got to this. What's everything I wanted to have finished and or done by the end of the year? And I took each one of those individual projects and then I wrote everything out. So your question is, how did you know which tasks to work on first? Everything kind of works with each other, if that makes sense. But I started out with my strategy. So on the Dr. Lene Javette board, the number one thing says to create upscale noir and business strategy, customer journey, and ascension ladder. So I did that first because it feeds everything else. So with Brand Your Brilliance, I had to come up with my 4C framework, completed marketing plan for my products. I had to get on I have like 8 courses, but they're all from like 2012, 2015, 2020. And I wanted to record them all. So I have them all written out. So how I do it is in order, either in order of importance or what I have the time for. So if I'm sitting here and I have like 15 minutes between clients, I'll look up there and I'll be like, what can I do in 15 minutes? In 15 minutes, I can make the decision if I want to sell that alone or create a price on it. I have 30 minutes. What can I do in 30 minutes? In 30 minutes, I can do the new graphic for my podcast. So it's not so much that they have to be worked in tandem or in order as much as it is that they have to get done. So when you have things in your head, you can't always go back to what do I need to do? But if you write it out and put it in front of you, when you have 15 minutes, 20 minutes or something like that, then you can look up to see, okay, what can I work on this next 20 minutes before I leave or before I go? And so it just helps me to keep marking stuff off. Even as I'm talking to you under YouTube podcast, new graphic for the podcast, I got that done today. Update the podcast RSS feeds, I got that done today. Create a podcast calendar, I haven't done that yet. So those 3 things got done today. What else is up there? So that's kind of how I do it. It's not so much that it has to be in the order as much as it is that you're getting things done so that you're using every bit of time that you have. How often do you sit and scroll on Instagram thinking you're going to be on there for like 10, 15 minutes and then you look up and it's been 45 minutes? When I have my phone in my hand and I'm scrolling and I'm doing this, if I look up and I'll be like, oh, I have something to do. I'll put my phone down. I'll look up on my board. Okay, I could do that. Okay, I could do that. Oh, you know what? That's easy. Let me let me get that done. And so that's kind of how I do it. Did that answer your question? So I guess the answer is I do multitask. Sometimes I'm working on all of them and sometimes I'm working on one. It just depends. So like right now I have 2 things circled. My 4C framework needs to get completed and then update, create course content, including the presentation and workbooks in the new Brand Your Brilliance branding. So that's like, I can't do those in multitask. That's like a one shot type of a thing that has to get done. So it just depends. Yes, you answered my question. Awesome sauce. Good job. Good job. All right, cool. So that's my time for tonight. I was looking to see if I could tell y'all what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow for day 3, but I don't have it. But I do know that it will be earlier in the day. If I remember correctly, the first couple of days, they are really light. So the first couple of days is going to be fun stuff like this, right? I didn't want to just jump back on and jump into some heavy stuff. So the first couple of days are fun. Yesterday, I did my welcome. Today, the heart of my strategy as my superpower. Tomorrow, it says a day in the life. We're going to see if that's what I'm talking about or not. I don't know. I may or I might not. It's Saturday. And I will be at Archwood Marketplace, which is a Black marketplace. So I might actually go live from the Black marketplace. I might not actually do my live stream from my office. So I don't know what tomorrow will be. But day 4 fun facts about me. Again, keeping it light. I think that'll get us to the weekend. And then starting on Monday, we're going to get into like some different things. I'm going to talk about the best strategy advice I ever received on Monday. Then Tuesday, I'm going to be doing community shout outs. I'm going to be talking about some of the entrepreneurs and businesses that I've worked with, some of the masterminds that I've been a part of, places where I've got my most, some of the best business advice and or business information. I'm going to be sharing that with you. I'm not going to be gatekeeping. So if anybody's looking for that. And then the next day I'm doing a live Q&A and strategy. So if anybody needs strategic help or has any questions around their business and strategy and things of that nature, that's the day you want to be on because I will be I'm free strategies all day. How much downtime do you plan for in a day? Ooh, that's a great question. What is downtime? No, just kidding. So I usually don't get to the office until 9. So I get to the office about 9. So I wake up about 6:37, just depending on how late I was up the night before. I do my devotion, my at-home devotion. I have another devotion that I do when I get to the office that's for business. this one right here. So I do I'm gonna do right now. I'm doing 40 days of prayer for my business. So I do a devotion at home, and I try to do a morning workout and do something, and then I'm in the office by 9 o'clock. I will usually work here from 9 a.m. until 6 or 7, and then I leave here. I go to the gym, and then that's the end of my night. So downtime, I guess, anytime after I leave here. So once I leave here, that's considered downtime. I don't take clients on Mondays and Wednesdays. So Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm working in my business. Monday and Wednesday, I'm working on my business. Saturday and Sunday is my true day off. I do not work on Sundays. Saturdays are dependent on what I did or didn't get done during the week. If I did what I'm supposed to do during the week, I don't mess around on Saturdays. If I didn't do what I was supposed to do during the week, or I have a big project, something like that, or like right now, I'm writing my second book. And so Saturday is like my day to write because I don't have any clients. I don't have to be in here. And so I can go and zone out for like 5, 6, 7, 8 hours and just write. So it varies. I play with it. I am a big believer of work hard, play hard. And so I'll work hard for a while and then I'll breaks. So I was in New Orleans for Essence for like 6 days. I didn't touch my phone. I had the out of office assistants on. You couldn't get a hold of me. Okay. My birthday's coming up in September. I am grinding right now because I want every single class that I have redone by the end of next month. So that's 8 classes or courses that I have to rebrand, reteach, and put online. I'm redoing my first book, plus I'm writing 2 books. I'm bringing my podcast back, and I have a new product that I'm bringing into existence. So right now, not a lot of downtime. But also, I've been off for like a year. I graduated with my PhD last year in May. And y'all ain't seen me in a year. So I've been chilling this past year. I've still been seeing my clients. I still work with my clients and stuff like that. But I haven't actually been in front of my business for a year. So right now is grind time. Not a lot of downtime, but I do take downtime. I do make sure that I get a good night's sleep because I can't think. I can't process. I can't help my clients if I can't think. I can't be strategic if I don't sleep. So I do take downtime, but I work hard. So with that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow for day 3 of my 30-day live stream challenge that I am calling Stream and Shine. And again, I will let you guys know every day. I believe I will know the time by Monday of when I'll be going live on a regular basis. I really, really want to do it at 10 o'clock a.m. But like I said, I do a podcast for Flag Nubian Money on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. So I might actually start doing my live stream challenge at 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific, which is 12 Eastern. So I will know for sure on Monday what my daily time is going to be. But I do appreciate you guys rocking with me. I know it's a Friday night. People don't be online on a Friday night. People ain't sitting around doing lives on a Friday night. So I appreciate that you guys tuned in and hung out with me tonight. Thank you so much, Stacy, and everybody else that's on Facebook. I can't see you. If you want to drop something in the chat, I can see you and give you an appropriate thank you. Thank you over here, Tashi and Kimberly and Loze, DJ Biz International, Business Bully, and all of you guys that tuned in over here. I appreciate you all. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Have a good rest of your night and or morning.